straight in front of us at 12 o'clock, that huge water reservoir up there, that was where Fort Casino was built. There are about 7 forts here, rushed to completion by Zebulon Tower, Chief of Engineers by now here, but that was Fort Casino. We're going to go to Fort Negley. There was a Fort Gillum, a Fort Harker, a Fort Houston. I can't remember the other two. But a series of forts on the high ground here. And we're going to go through this light. And up on the next high ground there at that light, we're going to take a right. Somebody mentioned baseball in the Sounds Stadium. They're going to tear it down and rebuild. It's next door to this baseball stadium. Minor league. Fort Negley had been worked on by the WPA in the 1930s. Stone was put on top of it, you know, but you still see the design. And it was named for James Negley. He got a little bit of trouble, I believe. I said Granger, it's Negley. I changed the name to something else for a while. They changed it back to Negley after the war, for whatever reasons. But you'll be able to see that 32 pounders in here, 24 pounders in here, 3-inch ordnance rifles in here, and there was a great contingent of free African Americans in Nashville when the war began. And this is documented. When they were trying to get labor to work on this fort, they surrounded the churches, surrounded the barber shops, and just took people, whether you were free or not, and impressed them to work on this fort. They think something around 2,400 worked on this fort, and about 600 of them died. Only about 200 or 300 were ever paid either, by the way. Stayed out in tents, obviously crummy food, and about 600 died, they claim, here working on this fort. And William Driver was here. You remember they named the flag Old Glory? Better watch, make sure I don't mess up here. Named the flag Old Glory, and he was in this fort. And when he pointed, he said, "Look over there." He volunteered with a battery, but see that house over there with the American flag hanging from it? He said, "Yes, if the Confederates take it, you blow it up, you tear it, you destroy it." At this light, we'll take a right. So there's Fort Negley. See the flag over there, that hill over there? That's Fort Negley, right up there. It's called St. Cloud's Hill. It was a picnic area before the Civil War. Huge old trees were here, 150, whatever year old trees, and they cut them all down. Now, it's a good, healthy walk up to the top, as Clay and Maurice knows. I know these people here, and I'm going to do my best to get them to open up the gate. We can drive up there. You won't have to walk. That's Falls School right there. That was turn of the century school. Right there. I'm going to take a right here. There's the Sounds baseball stadium too, next door to it. So we're pulling right on down. I'll tell you what. Oh, what's going on up here today? Oh well. We're going to take a left right here. I don't know what's going on up here today. I don't know. But whatever. Pull and take a right here. And let's pull up in front of that stone stuff, you know, where the little bar is. And, well, can we get in there? Yeah. And then I'll tell you what. Let's just pull up to this visitor center, because they have a short little film, a nice little museum. They're real friendly. It doesn't, no charge. So let's pull right up there to that red and white sign, and let's dismount, and let's walk on in there, and then I'll ask permission to drive through there and go up. If you want to, if you think you can turn to your right, that's fine. Okay. You might have to back out, whatever. I don't think we can leave the bus here. So what should we do? Should we maybe ask permission first and then blah, 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 and come back on the bus, a picnic area before the war, old trees, all in Nashville would come out here and have picnics. And then, of course, Nashville fell in March of 1862 and was the occupied city for the rest of the war. And St. John Morton, he was the one that, the chief and engineer. He was a West Pointer too, from Philadelphia. Started the construction of this fort and the Fort Casino over there where that water reservoir is, and all those different forts and the inner trench lines. Later on, when Hood's coming up here, they were building in outer trench lines. But inner trench line, it was known as one of the most, next to Washington, D.C., the most fortified city in America. That St. John's Morton, he was killed at the Battle of Petersburg in 1864. There'll be something about him up there. But they have 32-pound guns up here and 24-pound guns and 3-inch ordnance rifles as well. And they claim the first shot of the Battle of Nashville was fired here. Of course, Bell's Bend says that too, where we were this morning. A lot of people probably say it. But a relic hunter, in the middle of the second day fighting, he found a lot of stuff, lots of shells, but he found a Brooks shell. That's a big shell. And he was an expert, but he never found a Brooks shell before. And threw it in the back seat, went home, then he come to find out that there's no safety thing on that bad boy. That's one of the most dangerous shells of the whole war to find, even more than a shinkle. And he go, oh, whoa, yeah, and got it disarmed through somebody, but yeah, it could have blew up right there. And but those big guns were firing up here. Did any Confederates attack this fort? No, they didn't get this close. But I knew a relic hunter in the early 70s that found a Confederate belt buckle up here. Now, was that a trophy somebody picked up off the field? Maybe. Was it a prisoner that was taken up there? Not noted, but I'm sure there were. Because Hood lost 5,600 men as prisoners from this battle. I'm getting way ahead of myself. So chances are decent some of them were taken up there. Either which way it was found. But you'll see the stone stuff on top of the original. That was WPA stuff. But wonderful interpretive signs. It's a little easier way walking that way than it is that way. But nonetheless, we'll take off and then meet up there and then get going. Beautiful view too. See that tall brick thing right there? Yeah. That's Kirkland Hall. But you know that's Vanderbilt. Yeah, so right there. Somewhere like that, yeah. The building's blocked out, but there it is right behind that state house. It's behind those buildings. Right through there, behind those buildings. And the river, even more than that, because the river was the interstate highways, a lot of commerce. And they had, by the way, in Nashville, it was a mecca for publishing and churches and colleges and medical schools called the Athens of the South. And then another industry was down there on Front Market College Cherry Street, which is 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th Avenue today, you know, by the river, the tourists, whatever. And that was called, I'll tell you now, Smoky Road. And it was bars, and there were not where Sunday school things going on down there, and gambling, and 4 blocks wide, 8 blocks long, full of houses of ill repute. In 1860, 207 of those ladies were in the census, and one woman, Martha Reedy, was worth $26,000, which is about $1.5 million today. Another woman's worth about almost $1 million, and they had about 18 ladies living there. And then the war came, And these federal soldiers are in here, and before you know it, by the time a 63 is going, they were taking, I'm not kidding here, the federal soldiers were taking 40% casualties from the women. And one federal officer said, we don't do something about it, we're gonna be annihilated by the women. Our army is literally threatened by these women. So they put them on a train, sent them to Louisville, they wouldn't take them. Imagine that. Sent them to Cincinnati, they wouldn't take them. And while they're gone, more ladies came in, and they came back. Now you got a double problem going on. And then I'm not kidding, I couldn't make this up. A ship called the Idaho. I couldn't make that up. Captain Newcomb. Who knew Jerry Russell, by the way? Heritage Pack, Little Rock, you know, he's a great preservationist. He'd always call me, "Is Captain Newcomb here?" And call the Carter House, you know. It was a passenger ship, brand new passenger ship, supposed to hold 240 some odd, all the amenities. And they put the ladies on this ship, and of course they destroyed the ship. Nobody wanted to ride on it after that because they called it the floating blank house. I won't say that in front of the ladies here. And but they took them to Louisville. Once again, they wouldn't take them. Then Cincinnati, they kept in dock at Newport for a while. That's in the summer. And they had to have an armed guard on there because they stop at these places on the way, and the men would swim out there and try to get on the ship. And while they're gone, now we got a triple amount of problem. There's 600 on that ship of these ladies. And so now they bring them back, and what are we going to do? Finally, a general, and I'm not making this up. I know it's a little bit distasteful, but this general finally told the medical director, do something about this. Our existence is threatened by these ladies. And so they don't tell you this in downtown Nashville, the tourism department. Imagine that. But Nashville is the first city in America to have legalized prostitution. They set up a hospital for the men, hospital for the women. They would charge the ladies $5 to be tested. And then I have viewed the certificates they gave. It says, go ply your vocation. And that's what it says. And William Durham, who was the Nashville historian, two of his books occupied Nashville. There are a lot of sources. Tom Potter had a book on it, and so that went, and the casualty rate went down from 40% down to 4%. And the medical director said, "Well, it was a great unpleasantness to be associated with this department. I freely admit it was a great success." And they made a profit of about $60,000. This is about that's about $4.5 million in a profit. And then on November 27th, before Franklin, I think I said this on the bus, a big gunfight down at Smoky Road. They thought Hood made it below Nashville. No, it was the 13th U.S. Regulars and a Pennsylvania regiment. They're shooting at each other. And Smoky Row, every day there'd be people dead down there over the women. And the heel of a woman was shot, not the flesh, but the boot part. And then Memphis followed suit after that. And the war ended. And it still was pretty active down there until about the 1920s. They told them to move across the river. And I had an old uncle by marriage, Uncle Everett. He lived to be about 95, and he died in the late 80s. But I asked him, "Did you ever hear of Smoky Row?" "Oh," he got his face, "Smoky Row, oh, a lot of ladies out there." And my dad even said that they would drive by there and yell at him and stuff. Or his friends would and stuff, but then they made them move across the river and then on out. But Nashville, they don't tell you, they get mad. Actually, I was on a documentary about that, and I got calls from Belle Meade. They're the first people who taught me about the difference in new money and old money. And I was 18, what's the difference? "Oh, you don't understand." "Oh, yeah, they didn't like new money." It's all the same to me. Yeah, but I got calls from people in Belle Meade really mattering hell about it. "Where'd you hear this? What?" I said, "Hell, there's like, you want me to send you the sources?" "Oh, no, just forget it. And it's a fact. Look it up yourself. You can Google it. And 4 blocks wide, 8 blocks long. All houses. Front Market College and Cherry Street. So enough on that. But even before the Battle of Nashville, on the 14th, they were still down Smoky Row partying and drinking, and they had gamblers and everything down there too. But as I told some of you, good day today too. Where's that flag we just looked at? It's at 12 o'clock right there.
This one right here in front of us?
No, the one in the distance, way distant.